Happy game day, Cougar Nation. BYU versus Wyoming. I'm coming to you from Laramie, Wyoming. Didn't think I'd say that again, but here we are. First time BYU's visiting here since 2009. Mitch, Harper, Matt Baiamonte with you. We hold it down every single Saturday here on Cougar Sports, Saturday noon to 3. And right now, we had a conversation with BYU QB Jake Retzlaff. All right, BYU Wyoming week here with quarterback Jake Retzlaff. And Jake, how do you feel going into this week, the preparation that this offense is showing in practice, getting ready, maybe a bounce back from the offense last week?
I feel really good about the guys this week so far. I think we've already had way better practices than we had last week. Wednesday is a crucial day, and we had a really good day today in practice. And yesterday, I think the guys were super physical, really got after it. And so I'm excited to see these guys come out on Saturday.
Aaron Roderick noted that sometimes the offense just has to eat a negative play. How do you balance deciding when to eat a negative play versus trying to make a play?
Well, that's the game, isn't it? It's definitely a balance, and it's something that any quarterback's got to learn. And I feel like that, those meetings with A-Rod and talking to him about it, I feel like that I'm getting better at that every day.
You're a guy that can improvise. Do you feel any hesitation after what transpired last week, more thinking about avoiding the turnover rather than just making plays?
No, we never talk about avoiding things because in your mind doesn't process that. It only processes what you say. It doesn't matter when you say not this or for this before you say that in your mind. So I believe in protecting the football. That's something I can tell myself. I believe in ball security. That's something I can tell myself. And making plays. That's something I can also tell myself.
How much confidence is gained from you as the quarterback, but also the offense, that tight situation, you put together a game-winning drive?
It's definitely something that we hang our hat on a little bit about being tougher at the end of the game. Being tougher is a big deal. And we didn't run those stadiums and do those summer training for no reason. And we attributed back to that. We attributed how we came together in the offseason in the summer doing those workouts. You asked Coach Phillips and his staff. They put us through some really hard workouts, and we came together as a team in so many ways. And that just showed last Saturday when we were tired, when the other team was tired in the fourth quarter, we had to make a drive happen. We made it happen.
How much do you attribute your knowledge of the playbook now in those moments where, okay, maybe it hasn't been the perfect game, but in that moment, because your knowledge of the playbook, you're able to lead that offense down the field?
Yeah, I mean, always. Just that's what the big thing about the offseason is, still getting in the film tape and stuff like that, and watching, a lot of tape is you can really understand what this offense is about and what we do really well. Late in the game, I mean, we just executed our game plan in our our short yardage game plan in the fourth down late in the game. That stuff was all game planned out, and it's not like we were pulling something from the archives to run it on the game day. It was all in the game plan, and the guys executed it really well.
How does this BYU offense get the passing game going like you did in week one?
Just keep trusting those guys, keep throwing that ball downfield, trusting those guys up front to protect it up, and sling the ball around the yard.
How much trust do you have with Miles and Pokai and Enoch and all those players?
100%. I think it was a seamless transition last week when Enoch came in the game and ran that touchdown. It was a seamless transition when Miles caught the pitch on fourth down for 37 yards. And that's just what you're going to see on Saturday, more seamless transitions. I trust. Our running back room is really, really deep. If we got down to the ends of it, I trust those guys. And so Miles, a lot of game experience. If you look back at the 2022 Wyoming tape, he was all over that tape. So I trust him infinitely. Enoch is a tough, hard, physical runner. Kahuku boy, so we got a lot of trust in him too.
A few more moments with BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff as we get ready for BYU and Wyoming. You mentioned the tape. What has stuck out about this Wyoming defense on the tape?
I mean, it's what doesn't stick out on tape and what we know about them. Them being a tough physical team. Them playing BYU as hard as they possibly can because of the rivalry that dates all the way back to Mountain West days and stuff like that. And so the tape is the tape, and we're watching it, and we're game planning a good game plan. I like what A-Rod has got cooking right now. But we got to know that we got to come out of the gate firing because they're going to be playing with their tail on fire and they're going to come after us.
Has any of the former players or Kalani came out and said just kind of what this game has historically been about? Has that message been relayed to you and this team?
Yeah, I mean, even today after practice, A-Rod relayed to the entire offense about how he's been up to Wyoming many times. And no matter what, we're going to get their best. And we got to be ready for that. We got to be the more physical, tougher team on the field on Saturday, and that's not going to be easy. Not showing up is not going to do that.
Last thing.
You earlier with the media that you got to keep your helmet by your side at all times up at Wyoming. Where did that come from? What's the story behind that?
On your head is the actual teaching point there. I've heard about cans being thrown. Yeah. I've heard about glass bottles being thrown. And so I don't want to enter concussion protocol before the game starts. So I'll be running out with the helmet on.
Last thing for you, Jake. How much are you enjoying being QB1 and preparing week after week as the guy, and the pressures that come with it, and the criticism, but also the benefits of being the BYU QB1?
I mean, it's awesome. Obviously, the QB history around BYU is incredible. Just to be a part of that, just to put my fingerprint on that, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the opportunity that A-Rod's put in front of me, and the coaches I know they're all behind me, and being able to run out there with this group of guys around me is second to none. And so I'm so grateful to be able to do this, every week.
Well, best of luck, Jake. We'll see you in Laramie, and like I said, best of luck. Stay healthy.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff from BYU's starting quarterback, Mitch. It's going to be really interesting to see how he balances the gunslinger mentality. I know he hasn't necessarily been given the platform to be a gunslinger because they don't throw the ball 50 times a game, but you can tell that he wants the home run plays as often as he can get them, and it's cost him at times. It'll be curious to see how he balances that against Wyoming, taking care of the ball, checking down when there's 6 yards to be had rather than forcing a turnover.
Jake is better when he's loose and he's kind of got the whole field to operate and improvise. And it'll be interesting to see if he comes out tight at all, because Roderick's comments did not silence the chance to go to Gary. And I appreciate A-Rod saying that, because if they really believe that they had two QBs that they can win with, well, then make the change if someone's not playing well. But I do hope, though, that Jake responds well. I do think he's a guy that thrives on criticism. Like, it fuels him. Like, he might be the type that probably does look at social media,
right,
and then he's glancing at it, and that's making him mad. And look, if it works in a positive way, great. Hopefully it doesn't sink him, though, because this is a stage, again, that if it goes south, Matt, and you say you go the first two drives and it stalls, 3 and out, and a fumble or a pick, E-Rod might have to dial up that phone and make a bat signal call down to Kalani.
Jake thrives, I think, like you said, with his back against the wall. I thrive when I'm opening my front door and getting deliveries. And I'll tell you what, Beehive Meals, a Utah-based meal prep service specializing in preparing convenient, slow cooker freezer meals designed to simplify dinners. They recently announced, Mitch, their exciting expansion for their service. They're going to be going to new states this fall: California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Wyoming. They're playing Wyoming, and they're going to be delivering to Wyoming. Beehive Meals is a game changer. It is so exciting when you open the front door, you get that delivery. You have easy yet delicious meals at your fingertips. It's a beautiful thing.
They've delivered, when you bring up all those states, 2.5 million meals
wow,
over the Intermountain West. So Beehive Meals.
And it's a young company, too. That's a lot.
One of the fastest growing companies. I think Inc. 5000, they were number 399. So they're one of the fastest growing, and they're Utah-based, and great meal service. We had some of the August family style menu. It's the September menu as well. The September menu's got apricot chicken.
It's elite.
It is S tier, as my son said. And I was like, I agree, son. This is really good stuff. The creamy lemon chicken, too. Anything chicken, I love that in these meal prep, and Beehive Meals does it better than
if you're bringing the kids into this, my 4-year-old sometimes comes up to me and says, "What do we need? What do we need?" We need Beehive Meals, Mitch.
That's right. We do. The meatloaf is awesome as well. So Beehive Meals, we appreciate them being on board, and they're a proud sponsor of BYU Athletics too, which is pretty cool that they're helping these BYU athletes that you see competing every single week on the fields of play that you love. So appreciate Beehive Meals for being on board with Cougar Sports Saturday. Taking a break here from Laramie, BYU and Wyoming. We're getting you ready for game day as the Cougs take on the Pokes tonight. We'll talk more BYU football next here on Cougar Sports Saturday.